Okay, this is my proud accomplishments over the last year, but I'm gonna lump it into the last 3 years. This is a video that I've been wanting to make and that I've been saying I was gonna make ever since the beginning of December, but it's fine because at least I'm in time for the Chinese New Year. I think my biggest accomplishment of this last year has been being completely out of survival mode and feeling content, but almost content to where like I'm a little dissatisfied. And I was very confused by that until I had a conversation with someone. And I was very sad. My best friend, she went to medical school and I've barely heard from her since that happened, and we used to talk like every other day on the phone. So I was very sad, and I haven't heard from her in a month. And even like leading up to her going to medical school this past fall, I was feeling like, well, left behind because my life doesn't really have a trajectory. And I mean, I guess no one's life does unless they're in a very like corporate ladder climbing job. There's no like very clear next step. And the conversation I was having with this woman, she was saying, well, I mean, what if you've already achieved everything that you wanted to achieve? Like, what if you are already content to where you're at? Maybe you're just comparing yourself to the wrong person. And I think that has been hard too, the comparison thing, but it's especially difficult watching someone that like you lived with for a while go on and do great things, which I want great things for her, but then I don't know. Maybe I'm just a competitive person, but it's not even that. It's like, if I am to be somebody's best friend, I feel like I should be at the same standard of living that they're at, when that's just not the case for me. I'm too much of a creative person to go back to school and be in that kind of path. And I've built many streams of income for myself. They're all small, but they are there, and I have a lot of flexibility with my schedule and freedom with my time, and all of that I did do by myself with some help along the way, but at least starting out there was no help. Like, there wasn't help until I had proven that I could do some of the things that I said I was going to do. then help came. But I wanted to just go over the list I made of the things that I am grateful for and just the things that I have accomplished over the last year. So I think the main one is sitting right behind me. This is my king bed. I really only got that because of Reaper. He kept pushing me to the edge of the bed, and he still does that. He did that last night. But he's gotten bigger. The king bed I put together, I did that in November. And even my apartment, I'm 25 now. My whole life uprooted in 2023. I was actually thinking about this a lot over the last week. In that 1 year, the beginning of the year, I received my first record deal ever. I had signed a management deal too, and then I had to get out of all of that. I should do like little story time in depth on that and like show y'all the contract, because that was a wild time. But I did not go through the record deal. I did have to terminate the management contract. But that was beginning of 2023. Mid 2023, I was competing at Miss Texas. I was living in Texas at the time. So then I was on the stage of Miss Texas. And then I was homeless for like 2 weeks in between leases, and I moved to Atlanta by myself. I packed up everything in my car and moved. And I planned everything out, but there was still a lot that went wrong. And I actually ended up moving 2 more times that year. One to switch roommates, and then the second time I moved here. And also later that year, I was on American Idol all the way to the celebrity round. So it was like I had all these major events happen in 1 year, and it almost got me used to living life at that high unstable, extremely stressful pace. And now that life has slowed down, and I think my best friend is almost in the time period now that I was in 3 years ago. At least that's what makes sense to me in my head. And I was pursuing all of my dreams, but to a level of delusion 3 years ago. Because 3 years ago, I was not financially stable. I did not know how to upkeep a household. I didn't have any of my just basic documents in order. Like, there was just a lot of disorganization in my life 3 years ago. But now I have built a lot. So I'm going to focus just on the last year, because I think it is true. Everything that I needed, I have gotten and I have maintained. I think me 3 years ago would be happier more with like career success and career recognition. But me now is happier being able to stay home and not have to work. It's just so weird to go from like a high level of productivity to being able to choose whether or not to work. So over this last year, I have built the freedom of schedule. I have new friends too, so I now have the ability to hold friendships, which all of those friendships have been outside of nightlife. It's really hard to keep friends within nightlife. There's no friends in the industry. I feel like that was a lesson I had to learn over and over again. And I don't even think it's like people's fault. I just think when you put together money, beauty, sexuality, like being chosen by the other species, I just think it's gonna naturally just, I don't know if any friendship can survive that. I now know myself and I know everything that I want, and I'm comfortable with that. Also too, I'm very much a homebody now. I'm very introverted, but 3 years ago when I had all that chaos, I never wanted to stay inside. And I think that's characteristic of people who just don't have a safe living environment, because I was that way too when I was growing up. I used to jump out my window all the time until my dad glued it shut and then lied about it for 2 years. But yeah, I never wanted to be home because I hated being home. And then even years after that, it was just like I could never find peace within myself. And now I love being at home. There's like nothing outside for me. I'm also, I never had a problem, but I've now been technically 5 years, well, you could say sober, but sober implies that there was a problem. There was never a problem. I just quit drinking when I was 20. Just because I had a lot of friends around me in college that became very alcoholic, and I wanted more for myself, and arguably me going straight into nightlife while not drinking, I guess it's kind of like a oxymoron. I don't know if that's the right word. It's like they both cancel it out. It's like, oh, I'm not doing that, but I'm doing this. But the thing that I'm doing, it is setting myself up for my future. And drinking, I just feel like is going to make me look older. It's going to fuck up my gut. Same with smoking. And there's still more I want. And maybe I do just want to maintain the level of control I have over my life right now. But I mean, that hasn't been a bad thing. It's been working out so far. Nobody's ever been able to drug me because I don't drink. Another big accomplishment I had over this last year was being able to understand and process the narcissistic abuse within my immediate family. Because you always have this hope that, like, you know one day they're gonna get better, or that they actually loved you the whole time that they were using you. Like, you just have this hope that maybe it wasn't that bad, even though you have all these journal entries of it being that bad, all these voice notes to yourself, different recordings of them screaming at you. Like, you have all this evidence of it being that bad, but it really takes years of being away from it and you sitting with it to almost validate to yourself that it's okay to not talk to them. And they do keep trying to re-enter my life, and that has been frustrating, but I feel like I've reached a level of detachment now. I was definitely very depressed in December, but thankfully that's only 1 month out of the year, going into January. I was very depressed then, but it's out now. And with that has come all of this free time and this free mental energy that I have, and I've learned to cook. I'm not that great, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what great is, but I have learned to cook because I have my own kitchen now by myself. I actually just went through my refrigerator this morning and then threw out all the old expired stuff. And I feel like part of me was just hoarding it just because I wanted to see my refrigerator being full, even though it was all like old shitty stuff. And tomorrow I'm gonna go grocery shopping with my friend, so that's nice. I don't have to go grocery shopping alone anymore. I started painting again, too. So that's been fun. I've been hosting art night. I was added to an acting group chat for a casting agency. So I get to hear about new jobs pretty much every day, every other day. I've applied to several, but I haven't gotten any. But I mean, there's a lot of competition, so I can't blame that. But I'm excited about that because I did want something to do with an agency, because I do want to do more of that type of work, but it just comes and goes. I'm excited that I am able to keep learning and keep growing. The thing with narcissistic people is I feel like they're so afraid of feeling shame. Like, they will just not allow themselves to feel shame, so that's why they'll, go and blame you for their mistakes, and try to just rewrite how things happened. And I'm thankful that even when I do things wrong, I don't have shame that either prohibits me from putting myself out there again, or shame that causes me to go harder and retain my version of events even if I've hurt other people. I feel like I just said a mouthful. I guess I'm just thankful that the shame I've internalized has not held me back. I think that's a better way to say it. My resume this past year, I really built it up. I worked for a lawyer. I did the poker game masseuse thing for like a couple days. I did a video on that. I worked for a recording studio for 5 months. I work for a professional dance company now. And then I did add on 2 new clubs. I also started my first LLC last year. I have to renew that like next month. I did start my OnlyFans, and that has helped me overcome a lot of religious sexual shame. Again, I was raised Catholic, but you can recover from that. I had one TikTok that got 1 million views, and I reactivated my TikTok back in April of last year. That's been another thing too. I've been comparing myself to other people's whose TikToks are doing better, and I've been posting like twice a day, so it kind of sucks to see other people's stuff do better, and then I'm just kind of at a loss for how do I figure out how to grab people's attention more. But it's okay. It is not the end. It is just the beginning. I reactivated my TikTok back in April after I thought I was going to delete the account. And that was because my parents actually, I felt like they were just watching it, and they were, because they were messaging me about it. That's how they found out I was dancing in the first place, was because they were watching my TikTok. And I don't even know if they watch all these videos. It just kind of makes you sick. Like, once you're outside of that family dynamic, they'll do anything to get you back in, and it makes you feel sick to think of every piece of content you put out, like them watching it. Oh, I learned how to do my own nails. This is gel nail polish. It's actually cheaper than the nail polish I was buying from CVS. But yeah, I have a great resume. My credit score is the highest it's ever been. I'm really proud of that. I am 10 points away from 800. I learned how to cast spells. That was pretty cool. And I did find a church I really like. It is a Catholic church. I don't go when they have service. I just go when everyone's gone. And that's been nice. I played pickleball earlier last year. I was in like this whole pickleball group. And we would meet every week, every other week to do pickleball. And I did that for maybe a month or two. And then I was just over it. I felt like I wasn't really clicking with any of the people. One thing that bothered me about those people, it just felt like it was like posturing. Like, there was this one girl there, and she would just talk about all the trips she was taking and the next trip she was going to do. And I noticed some people use traveling as almost like to show status, and that's just annoying to me. I did a couple of study abroad trips when I was younger, and it gave me college credit, and I already went over to Europe and did the whole shebang and visited all the spots, and I have no desire to travel unless if I'm with some other people that I really, really trust. But other than that, I have no desire. So that bothered me. I don't want to sit around talking about these exotic places. Like, I feel like you should be working towards being happy where you're at. Unless if that's just, you know, who you are. You just can't stay in one spot. But that just bothered me. I just did not vibe with those people. They were not my people. I did switch gyms 4 times last year. That was mainly because of, I'm very good at handling attention when I am on stage and I am performing, whether that is, you know, dancing or singing. But outside of that, I just do not handle attention very well, especially repeated attention. And from, like, I go to a place one time and people remember me. Like, no joke. I wish I was joking. I was at the club Thursday and I met this one guy, and he remembered me from a year and a half ago, from when I worked at another club, and I was only at that club for like 3 days, and he remembered me because of my face. But that's like repeatedly happens. So it was kind of the same thing with the gym. It just really wasn't a safe space for me, and I tried it. I went to 4 different gyms for like, I think that had to be the first maybe 5 months of 2025. Then after that, I was like, fuck it, you know? Maybe this just isn't for me. And it's not, because I do so much with dancing anyway. I'm taking a dance class tomorrow. I'm really excited about that. I did, there was a car that I wanted to buy, and it was basically my car, but a lot nicer and a lot newer. And I ultimately did not end up buying that, and I'm so happy I didn't. It had these racing tires, which the guy, he was trying to like kind of get one over on me, but you have to replace them a lot and very often, and they're expensive. The tires I have on my car now, I think I replaced them, I don't know, a year and a half ago, and they'll be good for a while. Like, and I just replaced another one too because it popped. And that was several months ago. Yeah, but I just didn't want to deal with racing tires when I live in the city. So I didn't buy it. I didn't get into more debt. I'm glad I made that decision because now I'm starting to plan out my next purchases and how I want to go about doing that, because I don't think I agree with just even if you trade a car in and then get onto a car loan, I don't know if I agree with the concept of not putting any money down other than the money you get back through your car. So I've been trying to think like, well, maybe I'll save for half of it or 3/4 of it. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out when I want to get rid of my car. I'm gonna wait another year or two. Probably 2 years, because the car that I really want, it came out in 2024. So if I wait like 2 more years, it'll depreciate enough to where it'll knock off like hopefully roughly 10,000, I think. And I would, yeah, I wanna jump on that opportunity. The other thing too I've been experiencing, not so much last year, but this year is probably because I'm talking just how I spoke. I've been getting broke allegations, and I guess I just am proud to have come this far. I think that's the biggest thing that I have noticed living in Atlanta is just how much people front and act like they have all this money that they don't have, and how much the cars are leased, and then the bags are fake or someone else bought them, but then the girl can't pay her rent, and then all these trips are on credit cards. Like, and we're in a recession right now too. I just feel like, you know, if there was any time where you wanted to not feel the pressure of keeping up, this is a great time. And that's just not what I have been witnessing. And because I am very open, I think, about, I literally had 2 people call me broke within the last week. And I think it's just because I don't spend money. That's it. Just wild. Because it wouldn't have bothered me before. But you know what? Maybe that's why they call me it. Because before I think it was obvious. And now it's like people want to like get one over you. Yeah, this is the best my life has ever been. Genuinely. And it was actually a goal of me to look broke. Like, I wanted people to think I had nothing because I don't want anyone to steal from me. Especially since my job is very cash heavy, even though I never carry cash. Like, obviously it's in my hands at some point. And I just never wanted anyone to think I had enough to take. Like, even thinking about getting a new car, I don't want a luxury label car because I know it's already going to come with more expensive repairs. And I don't want people to think I have money. I don't want them to think I'm broke either. It's just like, it was so wild. I literally had 2 people call me broke within the last week. And it was like, oh, it like kind of hurt my feelings. But then I was like, damn, I really did it. I tricked them. But yes, financially stable, obviously not rich. Don't come rob me, please. Maybe it's because I wear the same outfits too. That was what one of my supervisors said to me. He was like, oh, I wish I just didn't care enough to wear the same outfit the next day. And it wasn't the next day, I just like, I slept in it and then I wore it the next day. So that's probably why they think I'm broke, because I just don't try. But yes, that's the end of my video. My biggest accomplishment of 2025 has been becoming content, financially stable, and I guess out of the survival mode. I feel like I was out of survival mode maybe 2 years ago though, but now it's definitely set in. now the quiet is too quiet. But yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited for the things to come. Thank you for listening. I'm going to change the direction of my channel. I feel like I say this every several months, but I feel like everything has been way too personal and me. And actually now people in my real life are coming up to me and telling me that they're watching my stuff. So now I have to be even more careful with what I say. Yeah, I'm going to brainstorm on that. Goodbye!